Hello, wrestling fans. Blake Smith from Walking the Ropes, and welcome to another episode of Walking the Ropes Wrestling Review for AEW Dynamite from Independence, Missouri. To open the show, we had the Battle Royal to kick off Dynamite. The winner will face the number one contender, Jon Moxley, in the main event for a shot at the interim AEW World Championship. Tony Nese, Daniel Garcia, Darby Allin, Eddie Kingston, and Lance Archer are the first suit, the clubs. No eliminations, just hard shots until the next suit comes out. The Diamonds, Ricky Starks, Jake Hager, Ray Phoenix, Swerve Strickland, and Keith Lee. I'm a fan of the way AEW does their Battle Royals. It feels different. It's a nice change adding 5 people in instead of 1 at a time or having them all in at once. Nese is the first elimination. He is eliminated by, I believe, Swerve, and Archer is then taken out after that by, I believe it was Swerve again, but it might have been, no, it was Keith Lee. John Silver, John Silver, Takeshita, Max Caster, Colton Gunn, and Austin Gunn make up the Hearts. And we've only had 2 eliminations. There are a lot of men in that ring right now. We then get Powerhouse Hobbs, Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly, Dante Martin, and the returning Wheeler Yuta making up the Spades. We have 18 men in the ring. That's all 4 of the suits. We then get Max Caster is the third elimination. He is quickly followed by the Gun Club, and then a shock as Swerve takes out Keith Lee, and then we get the Joker finally, Andrade El Idolo. The eliminations just start coming quick now. John Silver, Daniel Garcia, Eddie Kingston, Jake Hager, Takeshita, Dante Martin, Ricky Starks all go out within moments of each other. And it is all action. Bobby Fish gets eliminated, and then Darby gets swerved by Swerve, and Strickland gets the boot, and both men are gone. Hobbs is next to go, and we have our final 4. Wheeler Yuta, who's apparently off the plane 4 hours removed from his return from Japan. Kyle O'Reilly, Andrade El Idolo, and Ray Phoenix. Kyle and Andrade work together and eliminate Phoenix, but then Yuta fights off both men and eliminates Andrade. He almost gets Kyle, but no, Kyle hits a dragon screw in the ropes, and then gets Yuta over the top rope and knocks him to the floor for the win. For my WTR scale, I gave that a great. Kyle O'Reilly will be facing Jon Moxley in the main event. We then get a really interesting set of announcements. Jon Moxley talks with about Kyle O'Reilly. He said he's ready to go to war, and he has gives Kyle all due respect, but he is going to walk through him and says this entire sport belongs to him. For my WTR scale, I gave that a good. We are given an update on Punk. He has had successful surgery and is starting the road to recovery. That is great. For my WTR scale, I gave that a great. I'm sorry if you don't agree with that. I think that is a perfect thing to give us an update on. I loved it. AEW then introduces something I didn't expect. I thought this was going to be trios titles, but Kaleb then told me that they are waiting for Kenny Omega to return, so that way the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega can be in that tournament. We then get, like I just said, the new AEW Singles Men's Championship, the All-Atlantic Championship. We will have a tournament decide its first champion, and we have our first match in the tournament next. Buddy Matthews versus Pac. The other matches in this series are Ethan Page and Miro, Penta Oscuro and Malachi Black, and then we are just told it's a New Japan Pro Wrestling match. I imagine it's going to be you pick your names. I mean, you could find anybody. It's probably going to be decided at Dominion. But yeah, that is amazing. We will probably know on next Wednesday who the New Japan contender is in that set, which is awesome. For my WTR scale, I gave that a great. We then get the match, Buddy Matthews versus Pac. Of course, this match was announced prior to both men finding out that this was in a tournament. But these two are two of the most jacked members of the AEW roster. And not just that, they are even some of the most best athletes in the world. They show off that right away, wasting no time at all, stepping outside and starting the mind games. Buddy then drops Pac on the top turnbuckle and he tumbles to the outside hard. Pac, though, answers in the ring with a hanging DDT, spiking Matthews. These two just want to hurt each other as they hit some of their hardest moves and throw everything behind it. Matthews almost gets it with a Liger Bomb, but Pac stays alive, and these two know each other so well. They answer moves I've never even seen before. Pac takes out Matthews with a Destroyer and then hits the Black Arrow for the win. And after the match, the House of Black comes out to stare down the Death Triangle as Malachi and Penta will also face off in this tournament, as I had mentioned. For my WTR scale, I gave that a great. This is awesome. I'm so excited for Forbidden Door. Every time they add a match, it is just better, better, better. We then get Eddie Kingston talking backstage. He only has a minute, apparently. He tells Jake Hager he blames him for losing his chance at the title, and he wants Hager on Rampage. He repeats it like 4 times. It's kind of funny. I actually really enjoyed that promo from Eddie. For my WTR scale, I gave that a good. Trent Beretta then talks about how he and Rocky got jumped during their match against FTR, and he calls out FTR to make things right. FTR says that they shouldn't be mad at them. They're mad at the way it ended as well. Rocky is not here, so they would do this match right now, but they should be mad at Will and his cronies, or whatever they said. Speaking of the devil, Will Ospreay appears on the stage, and the United Empire jumps FTR and Trent. And Will comes in and takes out Trent with the Hidden Blade. For my WTR scale, I gave that a great. I am so excited to see Will Ospreay in AEW. He's definitely going to be at the Forbidden Door, but Will Ospreay is a fantastic performer. We then get William Regal talking with Kyle O'Reilly, and he tells him he taught him a lot over the years, and he asks if he thinks Kyle is truly ready for this. He tells him to think of his wife and his friends. Kyle gets pissed off and says that he is more than ready. He has wins over top guys in AEW, and he came here wanting to win the big one, and tonight he can get a chance to do just that. For my WTR scale, I gave that a great. We then get Hangman Adam Page versus David Finlay. Adam Cole comes out on commentary for this match, as I believe he is close with David Finlay. Adam Page is in his first match since losing the AEW World Championship, and you have to think he has a chip on his shoulder. Finlay is no slouch, though, as he will be a true test for the former world champion. They go back and forth and exchange hard shots, but Page seems to come out better as he dumps David to the outside and then hits a huge dive. Finlay, though, starts to target Hangman's leg and seems to have caught Page as he almost can't do the kip up, but fights through and starts to come back, hitting the springboard lariat and then diving to the outside again. They go back and forth again, and David looks like he may have it won as he goes to the top, but Hangman reverses it and lays him out and hits the buckshot lariat for the win. After the match, Adam Page grabs a mic and says he doesn't seem like he'll be getting an AEW World title shot anytime soon, so he says he wants the IWGP World Championship, and he wants Okada. Cole then grabs a mic and says Page doesn't deserve it. It's because, if anything, Cole has been on a bigger and better role as of late, and he deserves that match. For my WTR scale, I give that a great. I am so excited for Forbidden Door. I cannot wait. We then get Thunder Rosa being shown from earlier today, having issued an open challenge for her AEW Women's Championship. Marina Shafir answered right away, and Rosa asks if she has a problem, and Shafir says that she would like to be her problem and asks if Rosa can solve her. For my WTR scale, I gave that a good. We then get Wardlow making his way to the ring to talk about why he opted to not be in the World Championship Battle Royal, because he believes CM Punk is the champion, and if he's not making Punk tap or pinning him to the mat, he doesn't want it. Wardlow then says he wants a title, but he had won it already basically 3 months ago, and he wants to bring prestige back to the TNT Championship. Scorpio Sky comes out and is stopped by Dan Lambert saying he's hurt. Wardlow says he is going to wait until Sky's 110% and then he's going to take that title. Mark Sterling then appears on the screen and says that Wardlow has two options: go to court or face 20 of the American security members. I wonder what he's going to choose. For my WTR scale, I gave that a great. I cannot wait to see Wardlow murder a few guys on live TV. We then get the Young Bucks talking about the role they have been on and how they want their titles back. The Hardys overhear them talking and say that they pinned them clean at Double or Nothing. If anyone has a title shot coming, it should be them. Christian Cage comes in with Jurassic Express and he says he likes what he wants, what he hears, but he doesn't really think these guys deserve it one-on-one. He wants to do it as a three-way match. And why does he always want his team to have the disadvantage? I'll never understand. But not just a normal three-way, a three-way ladder match. So giving the advantage to the Young Bucks and the Hardys, which that's matches that both have been key elements over the last 10 years. And that will be next week on Dynamite. They all accept, but Jungle Boy seems to be annoyed by all of this. For my WTR scale, I gave that a great. We then get the AEW Women's World Championship match. Thunder Rosa versus Marina Shafir. This match may not have gotten a lot of build, but it is great that Thunder Rosa is getting a chance to get more time on TV and is getting to defend her title more as well. Shafir comes in hot and tries to overpower Rosa, and does, but starts to throw her around. Rosa, though, doesn't let that happen for long as she gets her shots in and makes Marina pay for stepping up to the plate. They're going back and forth now, exchanging hard shots, and Shafir keeps on Rosa and tosses her to the mat hard. Rosa then starts to come to life again, hitting a big knee and then the big boot. Shafir then keeps on Rosa, but Rosa picks her up and drops her on her head and keeps coming. Rosa then hits the victory roll and gets the win. Shafir jumps Rosa after the match and beats her down and locks in, I believe they call it greedy, but is stopped by Toni Storm, who comes in and drops her on her head as well. And then Rosa hits the Fire Thunder Driver, and Toni hands Rosa the championship, and they kind of stare off at each other. From a WTR scale, I gave that a great. Fantastic. I am looking forward to more time for Rosa and Toni. Man, that would be awesome. Jade Cargill, Stokely Hathaway, Kiera Hogan, and Red Velvet talk backstage. Stokely says Statlander is going against Red Velvet on Rampage for putting her nose in their business. From a WTR scale, I gave that a good. We then get our main event of the night. The winner of the Battle Royal, Kyle O'Reilly versus Jon Moxley. As you can see, there is also the kind of bracket that's going on. Hiroki Goto versus Hiroshi Tanahashi at Dominion this Sunday. They will then face Sunday, June 26th in the main event to crown the AEW Interim World Champion. Kyle's had a hard night winning the Battle Royal, but it will not get any easier tonight as he has Jon Moxley, the second ever AEW World Champion. He looks more than ready to start out the slow feeling each other out process here. They then start to wear each other down. They go back and forth with hard shots, and Kyle starts to gain control as he drops a flying knee. Kyle then starts to wear down Moxley outside. Moxley tries to come back, but Kyle then hits a big drop kick as Moxley was sat on a chair by Kyle, of course. He keeps on him when back in the ring, and Kyle is in firm control, but Moxley comes back with a finger rake across the back and then dumping Kyle from the top rope. Both men are trying to end it now as they throw everything into their shots, and Moxley looks like he has it won, but Kyle answers with the triangle sleeper and then transitions to an ankle lock, but Moxley fights back and exchanges shots again. Moxley then locks in the Bulldog Sleeper, then transitions to running and then hits a Regal knee Then the paradigm shift for the win. For my WTR scale, I gave that a great. Jon Moxley will face either Hiroshi Tanahashi or Hiroki Goto at AEW and New Japan Pro Wrestling Forbidden Door. I cannot wait. For my overall of the show, I gave it a great. That was fantastic. For my segment of the night, it's the three-way ladder match that being made. I'm excited for that next week on Dynamite. The match of the night goes to the Battle Royal / main event. Both matches were fantastic. Performer of the night goes to Kyle O'Reilly. I'm also going to give a caveat here to Tony Khan, as he was handed a pile of shit having his new champion Punk get injured, but he turned it into gold with this tournament, and I am so excited. But that is all for this episode of Walking the Ropes Wrestling Review. Thank you all for dropping in. If you enjoyed, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to get notifications whenever we upload a video. And I will see you in the next one.